Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift. If you resonate with the title and or the thumbnail, this is the perfect reading for you, delivered at the perfect time in timely fashion, courtesy of the universe, through the language of synchronicity. This is a collective or general reading, so take what works for you and leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, meaning that if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, take a look what was going on back then in your life, and it may give you further clarity on your situation now. I will begin this reading with the tarot portion, which is about 2/3 of the reading, and then if you want clarity, you can stick around for the end when I clarify with my oracle tales from the vector. All right, we're going to start with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. And we have, whoops, I've got my deck upside down, sorry. All right, we have the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords has several meanings, this card. It can mean cutthroat competition from you or from others. This energy can also represent, like being in battles with other people. But at the same time, it can represent having an inner battle within yourself, with your mind. And I'm just going to explain that. We have, three versions of the same person here. And so we have the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is the mind that is heavily imprinted on you from the time you're a baby until you're about 5 or 6 or 7. And the subconscious mind is actually the thoughts of other people, because if you think about it, you can't really remember yourself when you were a baby, most people anyway. When you were a baby, or even up to about the time you start kindergarten, is when you start to have memories. And so we have to rely on the thoughts of the people that were in charge of our care to tell us what we were like. These days we have a lot more photos and videos and stuff, but still it's heavily the thoughts of other people. And the way you're raised in your environment has a very heavy imprint on your energy, on your mind. And then we have the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind is your soul's needs. A lot of people feel that they are a human being with a soul, but in actual fact, you are a soul traveling in a human body. And this is your vehicle to navigate, the earth. And the soul has needs, and the soul can become, the unconscious mind can become very loud when the soul's needs are not met. We also have the conscious mind. The conscious mind is what you have a handle on. Like, this is your own experiences that you have, you've experienced them yourself, and you have memory of them. And so when the subconscious and unconscious and conscious mind become congruent with each other, then you'll have discipline of your mind, and you can plug that into your heart's desires, and then that's when you really can manifest what you really want, rather than what you think others rather than manifesting what others think you should be or have. All right, and we have for the first card out, this is the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is representing communication coming in regarding love. That's a cup of love there. And the pages would work for the king and the queen in the court when they were from about the age of 7 to 14. And they would deliver messages within the palace walls and do small tasks. And then if they were really good at it, they could then, when they were 21, they might be considered for knighthood if they could afford a horse. So the pages represent communication coming in. These days, of course, the communication is probably not necessarily by person. It could be a phone call, a text message, an email. It could be someone contacting you on social media, messaging you, or even going to an event and running into someone that you meet at an event that you saw on social media. It could be the news. Something happens in the news, and that gives you an idea. Hey, this is what I'm going to do. So Page of Cups is also, this can represent online dating. I mean, this page is where, this would be someone under the age of 21, basically. And in the old days, the pages would all be male, but this, all the figures in the tarot are archetypes, and so they represent masculine and feminine energy. No, they're not gender specific. So this could be a young woman in her masculine energy, and this is about love. He recognizes, she recognizes that there is plenty of fish in the sea, but this is the one that they are focused on. And we have Judgment coming in. This card has been coming in so often in my readings lately. So this is talking about judgment comes from the spiritual realm and travels down to the physical, basically, like downstream. And so this is the energy of some sort of judgment is being called, maybe on this may have been a battle with others, or it could be a judgment you're making within yourself, that you want to do a specific thing or take a specific action. Maybe it's like, hey, I want to change. Maybe you thought, I'm always going to be single, and now you've decided you've met someone and you're like, no, I think maybe I could actually make a commitment here. Could be something like that. The ancestors are cheering it on. The ancestors and the descendants are waving at each other across the water here, and this represents an energy of just being happy that this judgment is coming in. And sometimes this can represent skeletons coming out of the closet, or Pandora's box being open, but we will see what's going on. This is almost exactly identical to the last reading, and I shuffled the cards like crazy. It's just crazy how these like this card and this card and this card have been coming up a lot in the readings. It's just something, there's a lot of astrological effects right now as I'm doing this reading, and a lot going on in the world. So this is talking about immature competition. What I mean by that is as we mature, we begin to realize really the competition is within ourselves, and that's kind of what I feel this energy is about. I feel like this is about becoming like congruent within yourself and coming to decisions that you want. But this can mean like this is the only card with adolescence fighting and arguing like this. And so the wands represent action. So this can be about immature competition. I call this my Mean Girls card. Think about girls in grade 4 around that age, and narcissistic cheerleaders that have to win no matter what. And they are, they can see the other team was better than them, but instead of learning from the competition, they'll go to any measure to win. And if they don't succeed, their mothers will. And so this kind of energy is just, when you get older, you realize that the competition is within yourself. Even if you're competing against another team, or for a position at work or whatever, how you present yourself at the interview, or how you are able to discipline your mind so that you have that under pressure that you can really perform at a high level. And that's more like about you competing against your last best version of yourself. And that's kind of what this energy is about. And so there could be some sort of energy around you where there's something, I'm almost getting an energy here of maybe thinking maybe I'm not good enough to be able to have that lifestyle or that person or that position, that kind of energy. And it's false. We're going to keep working on it here. Yeah, because we have the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is representing one of 4 of the queens in the tarot, and her energy is has a very sunny disposition, and she's considered like the sexiest of all the queens, and like a natural beauty and with a real sunny disposition. That's why she's holding the sunflower. She follows the sun. This veil in the back represents the thin veil between the spiritual and the physical realm. And this is representing someone who's also, she's very good. She's known for being able to come up with creative solutions to problems, because she uses a combination of her logic and her intuition. And her element is the wand, and this is made of wood. It represents ancestors, and the offshoots represent the descendants. So the roots and the offshoots. And this, she is pretty laid back, because she understands that there's a lot of shift happening in the world and whatever, but why there's no need to worry. Just, come up with the best, do the best that you can in any given situation. And she has this little black cat here because she doesn't really care that other people think that a black cat is going to cause bad luck. She doesn't care about superstition. She knows that if she puts her mind to it and in a positive way and uses her intuition as well, that she can overcome the hardships that are ahead here. And then we have the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords, she is the queen of discernment, basically. So the Queen of Swords is considered sometimes to be the coldest queen out of all the queens. But this represents, the reason she's like this is she's been there, she's done that, she's bought the t-shirt, she doesn't want to go through the same old bullshit again. She's got her sword up in her right hand and she's ready to wield it if necessary. And but she's got her left hand out. So she is talking about being open to the energy here. And so I feel this energy here is about learning to discipline the mind and then be able to use it in the way that the Queen of Wands is using it. And this also is an energy, she's got her head above the clouds. This actually can represent the same person. And so, and remember, this could be a male in his feminine energy. But this sometimes is representing someone that's been through hardship, and they sort of started off like more like this, and now they've learned the discernment. And it's something that we all learn as we go through life, who we want to allow into our lives and who we don't, and what competitions really matter. And are we even going to get in competition? Like, is it even worth it? It's that kind of energy. And, she has her head above the clouds. So it's kind of like she's willing to receive. It's almost like willing to work on having this ability to be able to really discipline her mind so that she's clear on the direction that she takes. And then we have, oh yeah, see, this is someone that's working on themselves. So you're working on yourself here, collective. This is really good. This is talking, okay, now about the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is, she's on her throne and she's really focused on the pentacle. And pentacles represent health, wealth, happiness, and, abundance in the 3D. So you could have all the money in the world, but still not be living the lifestyle you want. So this basically, it represents lifestyle. And so the Queen is of Pentacles is really known for, she's admired for her ability to be very resourceful and make something out of nothing. She prefers quality over quantity. This often represents generational wealth, like a legacy that you can pass down to your children's children, because she's someone you can trust with money. She understands, how to handle it so that, it's not that there's always enough there to pay the bills, etc., and then a little bit left over, and then eventually, like, just being able to keep building that wealth by being responsible. And so I feel like what's happening here is the only queen we're missing here now is the Queen of Cups. So this is someone that's really working towards being an empress. And other than, unless you're born an empress, which is like not likely for most of us, the only way to become in the empress in the tarot energy is to learn the lessons of all 4 of the queens. And then when you have all of that life experience and knowledge, then you're at that Empress level. So we've got 3 queens here out, and then we have this card. And this card has been coming in so much. I was talking like to, I am in a group where we're, working on computer work and also taking a course basically on how to do YouTube properly. And there is some tarot readers in there saying this card is coming up a lot for them all the time right now. Also, it can represent a never-ending nightmare, but it also can represent boredom, and it can, and also enlightenment at like between the hours of 2 and 4 in the morning. When you get some, quite often we'll wake up and around that time, and we'll have a dream. And it's so real, and then it's like, wow, I could swear that that was really happening. And in your dream, you get a message. Oh, this is what you need to do, And so this person could be just remembering that dream, trying to remember all of the details. And this is this quilt has cosmic symbols on it, which represent the universe has you covered. It also represents you having to leave your comfort zone if you're bored. And so that's the kind of energy, a lot of because we're kind of in a stage in the world right now where there's a lot of change happening, and there always is change happening, but because we have access to information at just a snap of the finger, we're more aware of what's going on, and so it can be a little overwhelming at times. This is representing someone who's hard at work on the Pentacles here. And so this energy represents either you've started a project and you are, this is the only card where the person's actually making money, like on the coin, like working on the coin and very focused on it. So this card in particular is talking about making money and being really focused on that right now. So you might be in that energy where you're really focused on making money and how are you going to earn your living, and maybe saving up for something. Maybe you're saving up to go on a trip or to go to school, or whatever it is. Maybe you're saving up to purchase a house. Whatever that energy is, there's either you just started the project and you're on the 2nd pentacle and you have 6 to go, or you already have 6 done and you're on the 7th and the 8th one left to go. We have the moon energy. So the moon is talking about, this is when you're highly intuitive, and it's talking, this lobster is climbing out of the emotional waters to go down this path, to stay on their destined path. And it's kind of dangerous because it's got to go past this coyote and this dog and this wolf, or sorry, this domestic dog and this coyote or wolf. And they're both howling at the moon, and it's got to stay on that path to get through there. And so this is talking about staying on your path no matter what, like being determined that you're going to be on your destined path. And this energy here is talking about the power of the sun. The sun represents God. And then also the moon is the hidden illusions. And we have like the sun, we have the full moon, and we have the quarter moon, the crescent. And this energy represents this, different cycles in life. But that at this time, this is saying at this time you're very intuitive. And so listen to your intuition, pay attention to your dreams. Because it looks like you've been doing a lot of inner work to be to have all 3 queens coming out here. Now, this could be 3 separate people, but I don't feel that are all in competition with each other. But queens don't usually need to do that unless it's like in competition to become the queen. But then they're all, they're not after the same man here because they're all representing different elements. So I don't know it's kind of an interesting reading. I'm not quite sure what's going on here, to be honest. Oh, look at this. The Queen of Cups is at the top. Okay. So the Queen of Cups, I'll first describe the Queen of Cups. She's holding this cup. I've never seen this before, like them just all coming out like this in such a small reading. So it did pay off to shuffle and shuffle. It's really a different energy. So the Queen of Cups is sitting on her throne, and she's focused on this cup of love. And notice, this looks like a trophy. This is like, wow, you know, it's got a lid on it representing that she's a container of unconditional love. And this is the most likely to be married in a traditional relationship, and she just loves her spouse and she loves her family and just loves to, you know, have a happy home. And, you know, the neighbors, everything's like, you know, if she works, she usually doesn't. This isn't someone who's as career orientated as some of the other queens. It's more of a, you know, a traditional and maternal energy. And this also can represent your maternal bloodline. So going from the, you know, your mother and your mother's mother down the line, because we have the ancestors here, and I'm feeling like there's some sort of energy around that. All right, so I'm just going to figure out now. We're going to go from the bottom to the top and back up, down again. So we have the Page of Cups here, which represents someone is focused, and this could be you're focused on something you love or someone you love. Something you love to do, something you love to be, or someone you love. It usually is romantic love. And then we have this boredom, or I'm getting it's more boredom than a night. Well, it's kind of like a never-ending nightmare of boredom is what's coming up. And just working. Maybe you're really busy working on the Pentacle and you just aren't taking the time, because the Queen of Pentacles is in the center here. But now we have the Queen of Cups at the top of the pyramid, talking about wanting love in your life, and this energy coming, you know, it looks like it's coming in, and there might be some sort of illusion around it in your mind about making that commitment. So there could be something about a particular person, or just the idea itself, you know, of dating again. Maybe you know, the Queen of Swords here, she's got her sword up. So maybe you are kind of like, you've had a bad, you know, you're coming out of a stinky relationship. You know what happens to a fish when you leave it out of water too long. So it could be something fishy that was going on or is going in your love relationship. But it's kind of interesting because now, you know, we have all these queens, all 4 of the queens in a reading, like with what is there, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards, and we have 4 queens out. So this is a lot of queen energy. And, you know, this is an Empress now. Like I feel like this is telling the story of someone that has decided, maybe after being in a situation, competing maybe with others for a lover, that kind of energy, being in kind of like immature energy that way, and then making a judgment. You know what? I'm going to be an Empress and I'm going to discipline my mind, and I'm going to really improve I'm going to take these consistent steps of action. I'm going to learn how to use my intuition better. I'm going to work right now on my pentacles because I want to live the lifestyle I want. And I am going to remove all the illusions regarding myself. And maybe there's something here that happened, like maybe you were raised by a mother that kind of was living a life of illusion, you know? That's what I'm hearing, a life of illusion. So it's interesting. I need to clarify this too. You know, if you want to leave off here, please do give it a like and comment, even though it's kind of hard to say. But basically, I would say definitely you're someone who has maybe put love aside for now because you want to become the Empress energy, and that's the most important to you. And maybe I get it because you want to be able to attract an emperor You're done with the fishy love stories. That's the energy. So once you become an empress, when you're vibrating at that level, then you can attract, you can, if you have discipline of your mind, then you plug that into your heart's desires and you get your authentic desires. And your authentic desire is to, if you're going to have a partner, you want that person to be in an emperor energy, all performance. You don't want any more of the bullshit, no more of the fishy shift. That's the energy. So you've accomplished that. So this may be coming in now for you. I get it now. Okay. I feel better about this now. Now you need to like and comment this if this is your reading. I really like this. Like I'm just kind of never ever seen this before, like in this many cards. And then for me to say, oh, the only one that's missing is the Queen of Cups, and there she goes right at the top of the pyramid now. So yeah. This energy is saying that you've been working very hard on yourself, and also you may as well just focus on the pentacle, and that makes sense. That was like the center here, but now you're at Empress energy and you're vibrating to attract an emperor. I like it. I wonder how long that took you. It's hard to say. So yeah, really cool. I'm going to clarify now with my oracle cards, Tales from the Vector. And so TAILS. And I have a website, talesfromthevector.com. So this is something I started back in 2007, and in 2020 I completed the last painting, the 64th. And now I'm getting ready to bring the deck out, but I'm playing with it so I can write the information that goes with it. All right, so we're just tuning in here, and let's see if we can get just a little more clarity. I really like this reading. I'm really enjoying the readings today. They're more lighthearted, which is really cool. Okay, so let's go. All right, this is the card that wants to come out. You're going through a transition. So the Death card represents, oh yeah, that's good. I thought there was two there. So the Death card represents transition. And so this means like and that's what, like this process right here. The Death card actually represents death and rebirth. So it's about starting basically a new cycle. And then we have the World here. So this is, whoops, that's where there's two stuck together. Okay, so we have the World card here. And so the World card, when the Fool starts off on the Major Arcana, on his journey, he starts at the 0 point, and the very last card in the Major Arcana is card number 21, the World. And that means you've achieved your goal, and your goal was to be able to attract an emperor. I like it. I like this a lot. Good job. I'm still wondering how long this took you. Because that's a lot, that's an incredible thing to see it played out just like this. It's amazing what you can do when you make up your mind, right? And look we have Mother's Worry coming in here. So yeah, mothers quite often do worry about us, but like it's talking about all your ancestors, are on your maternal line, are so proud of you. Because like I am, it's like, hey, good job. And this is so funny because I said maybe you didn't want to end up like your mother. And this is mirror, mirror on the wall, I've become my mother after all. So yeah, it's really funny. And that's when you decided, when one day you looked in the mirror and you judged yourself and went, oh my goodness, I'm just repeating the same old pattern. So you actually, this is saying that you have broken a generational curse. When this is a karmic space, and anger is the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, when the Queen is in this, this is a card of discernment. But if she stays like this for the rest of her life, it's going to be a cold fish. You know what I mean? because anger, it's a gift that keeps on giving, and it can get passed down from generation to generation. So you might have been raised by someone that, was in this energy, and you didn't, and you don't want to become like that. So you decided, okay, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to discipline my mind. And man, I'm impressed. So this is, destruction. So this is like kind of a tactic that we use on ourselves and others, and it's sitting right here. Like when we can use anger to motivate us, but it's usually not the best idea because it's very acidic and not much fun, really. And this is an energy of, if you want to make progress, I feel like it's kind of, you might have had a situation here where you had a hard ending, in a love relationship, looked in the mirror and said, oh my goodness, I'm becoming my mother after all. I'm so angry, and decided, okay, I'm done with that, and I'm going to make a transition here. Wow, that's some willpower there. I'm impressed. So the Sagittarius energy is coming in, and this is about wanting to expand, like to be able to see things in a different way rather than going inward and staying angry. I just want to point out that when the horoscope cards come up in my general or collective readings, I'm not saying that Sagittarius did this or that you are one, and this is talking about the energy of the state of being in the Sagittarius energy. And so this is someone that wants to go on a new adventure. Jupiter is the ruling planet, and Jupiter is like all about really, happy-go-lucky energy instead of angry energy. So that's, and then saying, okay, I'm going to put myself out there in a different way, and I'm going to be in the Empress energy. The Virgo is talking about okay, so this is the energy of when you are a young adult, and this is when you're, in the highest form. The Virgo energy is being able to contribute to society because you're very orderly, you know what you want, and cleanliness is next to godliness, and Virgos like things clean and neat, and they can tell from a mile away if something's out of order. And so if you ever want analytical critique, they're very good at that. They can tell you, oh, I can see from a mile away what the problem is. You need to put this here and that over there, and and the only problem is that there's a fine line between analytical critique and anal criticism. And this energy says sometimes you're being really, really hard on yourself, and being kind of anal about it and getting stuck in that. And so congratulations to you for being able to shift that. That's what this reading's about. You're at the Empress level now. I love it. I think this is an amazing a feat that you've accomplished here. I just am still wondering, I wonder how long it took you to do this, because it was just so clear. Tunk, 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 tunk. Anyway, I do hope you've enjoyed this reading. Please do like and comment if you have, and also consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy. And congratulations for the collective who are in this energy. Way to be. I will be back with another reading. This was really random. I will be back with another reading about random shift in a little bit here. I'm going to do one more for today. Bye for now.